Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 3471 Southwest Patton Road here in Portland. We're located in the downstairs. We've got a toilet pulled. We're going through a 4-inch ABS flange and ABS pipe. I've advanced the camera out about 10 feet and zeroed out right here. This is where the toilet ties onto the main line. And I will refer to this spot as the point of access. So I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. And we currently do have water running. Here we go. And it's transitioned to cast iron pipe. And you've got some roots here at 22 feet. Looks like they're penetrating through the joint. At least that's what it looks like anyway. It could be coming through this joint here and just growing down the line. It looks like there's a couple of roots there. And roots, major roots here throughout. Now, unfortunately, here at 60 feet, this is the furthest out point I'm able to get to due to the configuration of the line. That's part of the difficulty of going through a toilet, is you have to meander through all of the intricate pipe inside the house before you get outside. I will go do locates to verify where we're at. Thus far, we've got root intrusion in every single joint throughout the concrete section of the line, which makes up the vast majority of the line piping scope so far. I'm going to go ahead and try and locate where we're at here and do my best to map the line back to the cast iron transition. But based on the extensive damage to this line, there's a couple spots where the pipe has settled a lot and there's standing water. It's looking like the line's going to need a full replacement. I can't see all the way to the end here, obviously, because I can't get to that point. But thus far, we've got roots in every single joint. You can see there's roots beyond the camera head here as well. So from this point, at least we'll need a replacement. More than likely, this trend will continue. There's going to be roots most likely in all the joints beyond this point too. Alrighty, so I believe that I picked up the camera head signal. The line, if you're standing at the front of the house at the garage, appears that the line kind of angles off towards the left, kind of passes through a little bit, a corner of the woods, and then I found it on the wooded side of a little iron fence, and I've drawn a white arrow on the sidewalk pointing to that spot because it's just on the other side of the iron fence where it's very difficult to get to. It's on an extremely steep hillside. And the locator was indicating that it was deeper than 15 feet. And so once it goes down below 15 feet, I don't know what the depth is, unfortunately. That's where my locator cuts out at. I'm going to pull back here and do a couple other markings. You can see here that the line has been drained out now for about 10 minutes, and there's a ton of standing water in here as well as a root intrusion. So unfortunately, sleeving this is not really an option. You have to, I don't know if they will be able to bore in, burst this old one out of the way and bore in a new line, but it will require a repair contractor to come up with a good solution for this one. It's a very tricky and awkward configuration, just the way the house sits on this hillside and the line goes out the front. Okay, right here we're at again, I'm going to talk about this as if we're standing right at the garage door, the front of the house, looking out towards the street. Right now we're at the front left corner of the driveway, near the driveway skirt, and also where the little iron fence runs up the side of the driveway. I've drawn a white arrow there, and the locator is indicating somewhere around 13 feet deep there. That one's coming in fairly accurate. It could still be off. When you reach this kind of depth, it gets very difficult to locate accurately. This right here almost looks like a main lateral connection or a Y connection. I'm not entirely sure if that's what's going on here. There's so much root intrusion and standing water that's very difficult to see. But it looks like, as I come up here, it looks like it's almost tying on to another line, like it's a Y connection or something like that. So definitely pull records to see if I wouldn't think so. I would think it's going to go out to the street, but it's important to verify that. It's also possible if this is in fact a Y connection with a neighbor. Now there's going to need to be some due diligence done on this side of the repair guys to kind of figure out what all is going on here. Yep, I do another marking here at the cast iron transition. I'm going to mark it with a white T. And just so you know, I highly recommend relocating. When we're dealing with depths like this, the locate and depth can be off by quite a bit. I don't trust my locator to be dead on when it's at depths of 13 to 15 feet or below. So I would recommend relocating. Well, I've attempted to do locates right here at the transition. I've also, while the camera was paused, I've been riding the camera back and forth, pushing it out to about 25 feet, and I was not able to locate the camera head past that spot at 37 feet. I'm not exactly sure why, but it more than likely is just due to the extreme depth of the line. But I do highly recommend a full line replacement from the cast iron transition out to the main lateral due to the root intrusion through every single joint in the concrete, as well as a significant amount of standing water in the line due to settling. And I also recommend checking with the city about that. It's a possible Y connection at 32 feet. I can't confirm it, because of the amount of roots and stuff in there. It's very difficult to see if it's a line this pipe is tying onto, or if it's like a 90-degree turn that's just all busted up from the roots and everything.